guys. Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me. I'm interested to hear what you guys are talking about. I guess a little, I don't know if I'm supposed to introduce myself, but I'm Sakib. I'm primarily a music artist who has been delving into the world of visual art a lot. And I submitted 2 pieces for this project.
Saw your 2 pieces. We're going to share them with our Discord community very shortly. Really excited for that. So Joshua, cool. you run it the way you normally would. I'll sit back and share some of my stuff if the opportunity arises.
Awesome. So it's great to be here. Good to get to meet some of you guys and hopefully get to dive into our projects a little bit more here. So weekly, when we do these think tanks and masterminds, I like to start off by, and I'll just kind of give you a brief outline of what we'll be doing today. We'll start off by diving into something that we're excited about, something in our projects that we're working on that's moving us forward and carrying us forward through the energy that we're putting forth in that. And so you'll share something that's exciting. And then after we kind of go through that, we'll try to keep it brief since we have a few of us here and we only have an hour and a half. So after we share that, we'll dive into the challenges portion where we'll open it up to the floor to work through any challenges that we're having in our projects. And since you guys have posted your briefs and you're working on them, hopefully there's something that's come up that you would like to share with the group. And we're going to as peers together, we're going to work through those challenges and try to help give resources and solve them. And we'll do that until a little bit before the end. We'll typically what I notice when we do these masterminds is that we all learn from each other, regardless of what we actually, the certain challenges that we have. There's something relatable to the challenges that are existing in our own projects. So if we don't get to a challenge of your own, chances are there's something that can be related in the other another person's challenge in the work that's going through. So we'll do that, and at the very end, we'll share what we got from our session today, what we're going to carry forward, and how that's going to help us in our efforts in our projects. So let's get started with a brief introduction and something that I'm excited about. My name is Joshua Prieto. I live here in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I've been working on this wonderful community and education platform for regenpreneurs, those that are doing regenerative entrepreneurial work. And it's something that I'm excited about right now in the work that I'm doing is I have been able to build a few different relationships with some different community organizers and educators, and now I'm starting to put together those educators in a way that we can help broaden their services or their educational courses and those types of things by introducing them to each other and creating packaged courses that are beyond the scope of what they already teach. And so that's something that we've been building out. It's been really exciting to kind of launch that and start having these conversations where we're actually getting additional educators on our platform for regenpreneurs. So that's something I'm excited about. We're just going to popcorn this over to one another, and I'm going to popcorn it over to Claire because I know her and would love to hear what she's up to and what she's excited about.
I had a feeling you were going to do that, Joshua. I was just searching for links to put forward. So what am I excited about? I am really ridiculously excited about the talent that I'm working with and the attractor factor, something about this incubator space that is definitely bringing forward people that I've been waiting to meet for a really, really long time. I've known the potential of my own work, and I've known in a way that I have to become exceptional at what I do. So that's my trajectory. But I have to have other people who can be sharing that platform with their own aspect of that. So for instance, as a musician and kind of a sound environment creator, I get to work now with Brooke, who does really incredible interpretations of the sound space and into virtual reality and videos of virtual reality, depending on what we're doing. And it adds, like, then I can't see my work without it. And then I think last week I met Jay Rome, who on one of the creator meetings. And yet again, it's like I couldn't have invented a better match if I'd been asked to. And so now he's adding to another piece that Brooke and I are working on that was for a different thing, but we're going to be able to produce it for the NFT. Yeah, thanks, John. I love it when you do that. You know I do. So there's that. And then there's the book. So I'm also, because of another part of my work, which is to do with consciousness and creativity and human potential, and for fuck's sake, let's notice that we have some, like tons of it. So that piece, I'm doing a book which is really pushing my edges of capacity. And again, I'm just in awe of the people I'm working with, because they're all really, really good at what they do. And it's just, it changes me. This process is changing me and making me expect more actually from the marketplace than as an artist. Typically, I was kind of frustrated, but willing to sort of sit on the sidelines. And now it's like, no, this work matters. It can actually do something positive in the world. And so I'm really phenomenally grateful to the whole experience. And I got interviewed by Sam, one of the 3 RegeNFT co-founders, last week. And just, there's just a lot of opportunities sort of happening. And I can only imagine that hopefully is true for everybody, because this is a shared field of experiencing. So I hope that wasn't super long, but I will pass on to Brooke in the unknown zone.
Hey, hopefully my Wi-Fi isn't too cruddy so you guys can hear me. Claire, that was so great. I feel your energy and how, so many awesome things have unfolded, and I'm so stoked too because Sakev, who's my dear friend, is here, and Hazel. They're both 2 incredible artists that I reached out and thought this would be a great platform for them to connect with others and also just make some NFTs and share their work and do good for the world. And Mel, hello again too, because we had a great conversation and just, advising with NFTs and stuff. And so I think one huge win has been connecting with a lot of people in this community and lending support in any way I can. That's been really just, it fills my cup up. And so if you guys ever have any questions about the XR, virtual reality space, NFT space, if you're looking for someone in that kind of art realm too to collaborate with, I can probably connect you with some cool people. And yeah, I'm working on 2 projects, one with Claire, her sound healing album. And also I've started this new art collective I'm a part of, and it's international with all different types of artists, 3D filmmakers, dancers. And so we are XR21 and we're creating some visuals that are actually going to be showcased in this 360 dome production this September, which will be super dope. So Gilbert Gabriel, who's a musician in the UK, is composing some music, and it'll be kind of the some snippets from this immersive film we're creating. And so yeah, really stoked. And I'll popcorn to Mel. Hello, Mel. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thank you. Thanks for introducing me to a lot of what is still sort of an unfolding mystery for me. I jumped on the call a little bit late, so I don't exactly know what the prompt is, but I'm gathering it is a little bit of an intro here. And I am still a little...
Mel, if you could also share a win or something that you're excited about right now in the projects that you're working on.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm working on a lot of projects, but I think primarily it's important to say that I am looking to put one of my portraits of who I call a mystic Baba. He was a mystic man that one of my elders had met in the Himalayas. And I'm looking to collaborate with somebody who can maybe animate and also put my elders' recorded story of this experience of meeting this person that blew his mind of the human potential into sound. And so I'm excited, but I'm also, if I don't find a collaborator, I'm still sort of questioning my participation here. Yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at right now, but I'm stoked that everyone's getting together to do this incredible thing. And whether I participate it or not, I'm so cheering everybody on, and we'll be in the next incubator. So yeah, popcorn. Let me see here, I'm on a mobile app. Thanks for watching my finger scroll across the screen here, everybody. How about Philip? I'd love to hear from you next if you receive my popcorn.
Thanks, Mel. Before I start, I have a question for you. When you say somebody to get your elder's story recorded in audio, do you need someone to narrate a written story, or do you want a recording engineer to record them telling their own story?
Yes, thank you so much for those questions for clarification. No, it would be his own words of his experience here, taking the trail of the sadhus that the sadhus told him to keep going up and up and up. And he's one of the first Westerners to meet with this Baba. I just felt enchanted myself to share more of that story to help with the enchantment. But yeah, so he would be writing it himself. It'd be his own words, and then I could record his words. I just would love to get somebody passionate about the tech part of this, and perhaps animating this. I don't know the vocabulary too well, but maybe even 3D or VR or something like that to give this experience. Does that help, Philip? Is that clarifying?
Yeah. Where, depending on where he is to get that recorded, that may be the challenge. The reason I ask is in addition to being the parent of 2 artists who are participating in the process, I'm also a audiobook narrator. Well, I have a studio here that I could, if you sent me a script and you needed something recorded, I could record that and send that back to you. But if he wants to record himself, then you just have to get him into a studio somewhere, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, thanks so much for that clarification and imagination of all the possibilities. Gratefully, he will be visiting me very soon, so I might have an opportunity to do this in person. But it might be as raw or as good as what a phone can record. It's kind of what I was thinking, but I'm open to suggestions and ideas. These little devices of technology that at least I hold in my hand seem to be pretty damn good if I can partner with somebody who wants to edit and enhance.
Mel, because you're on a phone, I'm just going to tell you, I've put a note saying I'd like to talk with you about it, but I know we're in a process, so I'm not going to do that right now. So if you could put contact info in the chat, I think that would be really helpful, and I'll reach out. Thanks.
Thank you. I will definitely do that. Thanks. Okay.
So I'm excited about the process and getting my kids to submit their art. My son is an EDM producer, so he's creating a song, and hopefully he might have an opportunity to work with Jenny, because that would be awesome. And then my daughter is visual artist, and so she has a couple of pieces she's considering submitting for the auction as well. So I'm just trying to kick them in their cans, get those millennials to get on the ball and get the work done. And then, like I said, I'll put an open invitation out there. I am an Audible audiobook narrator. I've got a studio here. If anybody needs narration for any of their projects, I'm happy to collab with anybody, and we can get your script recorded in high quality studio audio. And then I will popcorn over to, let's see, let me scroll across here. Aurora, Danny.
I'll take it, Philip.
Oh.
Thank you.
Okay.
And yes, I literally just got back to Los Angeles today from Boston. So I'm looking forward now to grounding, honing in, connecting with your son, doing all the things. Just want to say thank you to John and the team, Gentry, John, Sam, for facilitating such a inclusive experience. And I often have social anxiety with these Zoom calls all the time, even though I do them, but like, you know, I think that they've been, I've really enjoyed this particular group. So a win for me today was that I got all my team members on board to say, yes, they're ready to move into win-win agreements. So that was a huge win for my team. And then the other win for me today was that I think I decided I'm also going to submit a painting for Earth. This, I don't know. Oh, because wait, let me see if I can change this virtual
your background. We can't see it.
I painted this landscape, and this landscape is a scene from my Earth walk. So in 2019, I walked across America, and I am currently the only, to my knowledge, I'm the only female with a federally recognized disability to have ever walked across America unassisted. So this painting is the first of a series of paintings that will come from photos I took on the walk. And so that's another exciting thing. I think I'm going to submit that. But I feel really good about the my piece, my insider look piece at the Arts and Cultural Center, and moving forward with our agreements. So that's my win for today. And I guess I popcorn it again over to maybe, did Hazel go?
Hi, no, I'm here. I just had to take my headset off. Hi, I was actually just working on my submission for the virtual Burning Man this year. So as we were talking, and I joined a little late actually, I was just working on that. So that's what I'm working on right now, and that's what I'm most excited about. And as far as the submissions for this project, I was actually just thinking if I could submit an entire alt space world for this project. So I thought that would be a nice idea, because I like to make immersive environments and scenes and experiences for people.
Awesome. Yeah, let's chat about that afterwards as far as what the needs are, but that sounds incredible.
Yeah, I would love to. So I have experience with creating alt space worlds, as I created worlds for Burning Man last year as well. And I've set myself some ambitious projects for this year for the same, for BRC VR as well. And I just found that it's just something I love to do, is create immersive environments for people to experience.
For that, well, it's more of a.
I just muted that participant. Thank you so much, Hazel. Is there anyone, if you were complete, if you want to continue, please don't stop if you're not done. And then the next step would be popcorn when you are done.
Right, yeah. So I just wanted to give a shout to Brooke as well, because she'll be collaborating on one of these worlds with me. She'll be submitting a piece and we'll be turning it into an alt space world. So I think I'll have a collection of worlds with sort of like a hub world with portals going into the other ones. And one of those will be a world that Brooke and I collaborate on. So I'm looking forward to that as well. And I'm going to popcorn this over to who hasn't spoken yet. I joined a little late, so excuse me if I call somebody who's already spoken. Eric?
Eric hasn't
Have you
spoken
spoken?
yet. No, he hasn't.
Okay. All right. Over to you, Eric.
It was Joel, Gentry, Tom, and Sahib. I'm not sure if I. Okay.
Saqib. Yeah.
Saqib. That hasn't gone yet. If you want to pass it over to
Yeah,
them.
I guess I could say some things. Hello, guys. My name is Saqib. I am primarily a music producer who is doing a lot of video things now as well. I actually submitted 2 pieces already. So I guess I have like a couple of wins. One of those is that, I mean, not exactly related to this project though, is that I started an organization that's raising money to bring, to basically bring free healthcare to people in Pakistan, called Ali Khan Fund. So we recently incorporated last week, and we are about to apply for our 503(c) status. That's been something really cool, and I'm setting up basically like a mission in January to take an eye surgeon back to Pakistan to do a bunch of cataract operations. We're gonna do about 400 cataract operations in January 2022 in Lahore and Islamabad in Pakistan. So that's been a big win for me the last week. And then musically, I played a pretty bomb party last night and it was bananas, absolutely amazing. And I've been making a lot of new music and doing some cool new remixes. And I guess the other thing I was going to say was the way that is related, the Ali Khan Fund and the whole organization, to art is that I'm going to hopefully be I have been raising money for it through Bandcamp releases of my music, as well as hopefully events in the future. So I guess that's a win for me lately, and something that I've been excited about and working on a lot. And then always music, just like working on a lot of things all the time. I actually already made my submissions for this. I could possibly do more because I had already made a couple of pieces that were based on Moab, this trip where Brooke was there too. It was really cool. Anyways, so that is kind of about me. And I guess I'm going to, was there another part of the prompt that I'm missing?
No, that was good.
You
Just
nailed
want to
it.
popcorn it over.
All right. So also I was gonna say that so I'm a musician and I make music and I have a studio. So if you guys have anything that you would like music for, it doesn't have to be dance music and like bumping bangers. Like if you have like something ambient or like something interesting or weird that you want music for, totally sit and work with you. So that would be really cool. So I'm totally open. I'll drop my contact in the chat as well. So get in touch with me if you want to work on anything together. And I guess I am going to nominate. Did Jenny speak yet? Jenny Carrington, are you in the house?
I did speak, but I'll just really.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah. Okay.
But I'll just really briefly say 2 things. I want to connect with you about Pakistan because I'm doing a bunch of work in Pakistan and Lahore.
Oh really? Oh wow!
Yeah,
I grew up there.
Offline. Yeah.
Awesome.
And then Hazel, if you're there, I sent you a message too about the alt space. So Hazel, if you hear me, please connect with me. Thank you.
Awesome. All right.
I suppose that
it looks like Eric is able to go. He was
all right.
Hey guys, I don't know how good my connection is, and there's fireworks happening like right now. So it may not be opportune. You probably hear that, right?
No, a little bit. It's not that bad though.
Oh, really? I'm like watching a fireworks show. Can you give me the prompt again, please?
Yeah, Eric. Something that you're excited about in the projects that you're working on.
Hey, so I've been getting great footage of the Hudson with this new DJI Mavic Air 2 drone, and I'm looking forward to tinkering around with some programs to turn it into a beautiful visualization, time lapse kind of GIF, either with something in like Adobe Premiere or some open source Python machine learning visualizer that'll time lapse it all into this beautiful image. I'm a little bit preoccupied with this. I'm on my e-bike hitting the Empire State Trail right now. I'm taking a diversion on the Hudson, and there's fireworks. And I was just at Nyack and made some amazing connections of people who are interested in RegeNFT. My friend is going to mint his album release visualizer video into it too. There's a lot. I apologize. I'm not good at being concise, but I often I feel like I'm like taking on too much at once. And at this point, what I am promising is this Hudson footage will be turned into some sort of visualization. We're going to mint that and probably give half the funds to the river keepers of the Hudson River Keepers. So that's all that's going on. I'm having a great time on my e-bike. I'm in this town that feels like a suburb of Mexico City called Havertown, north of Nyack past Bear Mountain. And I'm in this like Caribbean by the river cafe thing, about to order some big clams. I'm watching a fireworks show, and I just barely made it on this call to check it and say hi. So yeah, hey everybody.
You Joel,
Gentry. Let's
okay,
go with
Gentry.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Wanted to send some love and good vibes out to all of you. Thanks for showing up. Awesome. Really, like, don't even know where to begin with the amount of gratefulness that I have for all of you, for your creativity, your inspiration, and really just committed to like changing the world. I'm very excited about all of this. So that being said, art is like coming out of everywhere, and it is oozing with just awesomeness. It is liquid joy just manifesting itself here on the water. Recently did the whole like voyage from Oakland through the estuary under the bridge. Did a little like shakedown on the jib. That's all sailor talk for you guys. Woo! Which I'm hoping you guys are gonna learn. Come to Ephemeral with us, yeah. Awesome. Okay, I don't want to get you all too excited, but we just recently returned from a scout where we were cruising around, going pretty fast. Like I'm a sailor, and it's like, you know, we're doing, and you know, you get up to like 14 knots, you know, and that's a whole different story than like 70 miles an hour, you know, like, woo! So we were zipping around. Folks got wet. That was exciting. And we scoped out where we're going to anchor out. You guys should have seen it. There was like probably the best fireworks show. And I've been to like Central Park. I've done the Symphony, been to like Fort Benjamin Harrison when they were open when I was a kid, all the crazy, you know, every stuff. And we were out on the water, and it was just like these things were just like dripping right, like fireballs just dripping right out of the sky right on top of us. It was amazing. And there was like literally hundreds of boats. And guys, this is where we're going. Okay, this is where we're going to hang out and launch your art that you're making. You got to be kidding me right now. So more to come. I'll be sending up some videos, and you guys can, you know, be encouraged and really like be excited to come out. We're gonna have working on getting some ferrying situations so that people can get out there and easily like see what's up. I think Claire was out there last night, and she could probably share a little experience of what it's like for a first timer to raft up. But guys, I'm so excited, and again, so grateful for you. You want to know what's turning me on? You guys and this whole thing, baby. So thanks a lot. Awesome. Over now.
Thanks, Gentry. So and I love the excitement. It sounds like it's gonna be a lot of fun. Claire actually got to go first time. That's news for me too. So I've never been on a sailboat. It'd be something fun to do. Just hearing what John and everybody's been creating, it's wonderful. So we have two more people. Let's be quick so we can spend some time doing our challenges here. But Tom, if you could go, and then after Tom, we'll have Joel.
All right. Well, hi everyone. Actually, that's a great segue from Gentry's description of last night. So I guess the win I had was actually bumping into these guys and catching up with John again and talking about the possibility of doing an NFT for something that's a little bit different from, I guess, what everyone else here is doing, which is more, I think, visual art and auditory art and so on. But perhaps I can pitch the idea of infrastructure as art, if that makes sense. So the project I'm involved with is something called, well, Forbes Island is actually the infrastructure. It's, as a quick overview, it's a floating concrete hulled houseboat, 700 tons, with palm trees and a lighthouse on top, and a pirate themed bar and accommodations and event space below. So a group of us have been involved with this for a while, trying to get it relocated and refurbished and renewed and ready for the community to use as an event space and venue. And in doing so, we've also, this ties in with this whole ephemeral community as well. Yeah, I can share some pics in a minute. If you actually, let's see, probably the quickest way is go to Wikipedia. Let me share the link to that here, and you can see Forbes Island. So that's a summary. So it used to be actually in San Francisco at Pier 39. It was a French high-end restaurant for 15 years. It was built by this guy, Forbes, who built all the houseboats in Sausalito, not all of them, but many of them. He's about 85 now. He retired, and he wanted to see this unique thing he created back in the 70s as his home and a restaurant have a new lease of life. So group has taken it over. We're trying to do all these things and relocated it at this marina we've now bought, and have it as a hub for, you know, also maybe promotes awareness about sea level rise and coastal erosion and so on. So I think that fits nicely with the whole theme. You know, get some, you know, eco aspects going there as well. Yeah, so it's going to be, if you're at Ephemeral, you'll have the chance to come out and see it. We'll be arranging tours. And the idea is maybe we can run a sort of virtual timeshare using this NFT, so people can contribute. And basically, yeah, we do need still quite a lot of funds to do all the renovation works and things that we want to do and move it in place. So, you know, a bunch of us have been putting in our own money for that for now, but maybe we had this idea, maybe do an NFT and get Ephemeral folks to contribute. But now connecting with John again, maybe this is the perfect way to do it. So we'd love to get feedback from anyone. And if you think that's a good story, if we can make that work.
Thank you, Tom. Cool, love it so much. And get gentlemen and ladies, just to let you know, we're whispering a whale song, you know, on our way to Ephemeral, and our dear friends, Tom and the community at Ship Marina are 1 degree away from some serious, beautiful, incredible whales. So we're just really grateful to have you back here and reconnect and be on the water together last night. Thanks for joining us, Tom.
Thanks, John.
Next time. So I did also forget Kelly as well. So we'll Jill and then Kelly, and I think we got everybody. Did I forget anybody else?
And then me, I'll be quick, but.
Okay.
Okay. Hello everyone. Thank you for being doing this. It's a really nice concept that we are holding on. And I'm here from Puerto Escondido, Mexico, Oaxaca. And I'm really excited about doing all these pieces of art with all together. I don't know if I can send you like the video of the piece I'm working, but I create like a sacred god painted in many animals with the human form, everything in a piece, and it's rendered like making mantras and some stuff. And I'm really happy to all the pieces that I've seen, and I listen about like the music producing and everything, and it's really happy for me. I really do not understand the way how the auction will be done and everything, but that's the last thing. It's a nice thing, and I love to create things. So that's it. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, Joel. Good to have you. And Kelly, would love to hear from you, and then we'll get into our mastermind think tank part of this.
Beautiful, thank you. I'm deep in a water fast, so there's no surprise. I feel I'm a little elusive of a bee anyway, even speaking. But thank you everyone for being here and for the heart and just magic that's being made. A win for this week is one of the artists working on our project where we're creating a series of different activation pieces connecting with ancestral wisdom and the wisdom of the earth. And we have some really key elements that have been made this week. Now we can start to build off of that. So it's really great. And I've been sitting with the last couple of days of, I'm a poet and I've been making poetic short films. I make music. I've been feeling into submitting some of that as well. And so it's really nice to see some synergies here of, music wanting to be made. So that's feeling there's another win right now of another spark of inspiration moving through. So keep it simple. I'm complete. Thank you.
Thanks, Kelly. And John.
Oh, yeah, I'm just super inspired by everyone that's here. Thank you very much. Wanted to just plug that we're in talks with a really advanced NFT marketplace. And that might be our marketplace partner for the first 2 drops. We'll probably do one airdrop midway through Ephemeral the week of the 20th. And then another drop is towards the end of the month, early August, where we have a venue in San Francisco that Gentry and I are going to visit that we may have for free, but we can't announce that yet. We need to ink that deal. So we're super inspired to just have incredible talent that's connecting us to these opportunities. Brooke and Claire and just the people that are saying yes to this are just really touching, moving, and inspiring me every day. So thank you all.
This is really cool. I don't often get to speak with this many artists in one room or this type of setting and be able to work through your guys' projects. So this is exciting for me. I typically work through, I guess it's a different type of artist in a lot of ways, entrepreneurs, and in a lot of ways we are all entrepreneurs on this as we try to work and sell our art and bring people into the art that we're creating. So we're going to get into this. There's a marketing focus to this. There's a definite what is your struggles in creating your projects. That's what we want to open up. And I know that's a vulnerable thing to share a lot of times. Please know that you're in a safe space. That's we're here to help, and we're here to open you up and help you to bring these projects forward. So I'm going to open it up to the floor for someone to share a challenge that they're trying to work through right now, so that we as a group here can help one another. It is now open for you guys to share.
Okay, I'll go. I think one of my main challenges, especially with my current projects, is perfectionism, because I have this idea in my mind of what I want the experience or the space to look like. And sometimes that manifests as procrastination or just feeling stuck with it. And I just have to sort of push myself past it and just start creating, so I get into that zone where it's no longer an issue.
Yeah. Does anybody else have that challenge, or does have something to share there? I know I have that challenge often of trying to get something perfect. Um, what's what do we have to share in the lines of getting it out and getting it shipped?
I have one. So I'm doing like an insider look video, and I'm compiling images, cinematography, and original music that was actually recorded while I was filming. Like, we were at the space and original music was being written as I was filming. And I'm wondering, like, in terms of the agreements that we're going to be making, I want to make sure that everyone that's featured, like, in the piece is getting honored. And also, it's like, well, if I do a scan of this venue, there's like 20 or 30 visual artists in that one scan. So how do I create, is there a cutoff? Is it like do I include the musical artists that are really being featured, or, in terms of the agreements and really honoring everyone in the video? I've been struggling with that. And then also specifically to, like, this original song, this artist wants to make sure that she's not actually selling the rights to her song. So she wants to be able to use the song in this video. So the Insider Look video is an NFT, but she wants to maintain ownership of her song. So that's another thing that I want to make sure is possible.
Well, there's a few in there, Jenny. If we can just table it for just one moment, answer. Let's see if we can answer Hazel and Philip and have her to be complete in this challenge of perfectionism and getting something shipped. If I could just ask a clarifying question, Hazel, is this in regards to the project that you're trying to get going right now, and for RegeNFT and for your submission here?
Yeah, so well, mostly for the the virtual Burning Man project. But it's not the first time, that issue's cropped up. Obviously, it's just sort of the most immediate projects that I've had that issue with. And I think it's important to realize that if you have like an idea of something in your head, the thing you create is going to be its own entity. It's going to be maybe like a twin or a cousin of the image that you have in your head, and it's just gonna be its own thing, and you just have to let it be its own thing and have faith that it's going to be what it wants to be, instead of trying to corral it into being the thing you have in your head.
Yeah, I think that's important. Maybe that's answering your own question right now, and just being able to allow it to be what it needs to be, instead of having a specific image. I know that I've had that in other projects where I want to will it to be something, and it turns out I really just need to take a step back. Claire's been a wonderful help in helping others to see that, and helping me to see that at times of just like, oh, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to perceive it to or will it into something, but actually try to truly feel what it is becoming, and allow it to be that, instead of this specific thing that you have in your head. So yeah, let's if you're okay with that discussion, Hazel, if there's anything that you want to bring forward, or you feel like we can chat about, or anybody else has to chat about the work of perfectionism, the challenge of perfectionism, we can linger here for just a moment, or we can go and help Jenny with her challenges as well.
I have some, if you want to hear about it.
Yeah, Joel, go ahead.
I always think if you create a piece and you dedicate like time and time and time and time, there's some time that it's enough because it's already been so many times that you dedicate to create that piece. So what I will create for this special occasion, we have like a delivery date. So I will try to make the best of my approach, the process and everything to enjoy it, to have it before the time, to have like this time. So I think in that moment it become perfect. You know, I tried to make it like and exactly the time that we have like a delivery date. It's a process that will be even more perfect because we have more time, you know. So I think the very best way to see the perfectionism is when we finish the piece, we don't have to uh, value other way than perfect because we do our best on the time that we have. So when we have like a delivery date, it's a different way to approach to the perfectionism in a way that it will be more appreciated by us because there was no more time, you know, and that was like the best approach that I could with my big effort in every moment that I create the piece. So that could be like a helpful way to not minimize like the version that you are able to create. Because if you are going in the full power to making your maximum effort in the movement that whatever you're creating, uh, well, the result will be perfect. It doesn't matter which is the way you look at it, you know?
What a wonderful answer, Joel. I would agree with that. Claire.
Can I just add a tiny bit? It kind of came up because of listening to Joel and that lovely advice. So what I was picking up from that was kindness to self. And I understand that stepping on either side of that line around thinking that the project somehow is in charge of us or that we have to be in charge of it. And the kindness piece feels like a really beautiful way to re-enter a more relational space and to think of it as a really beautiful, sensitive conversation, and to step away from this idea that there's an external measuring stick. Yeah, because we are cosmology unfolding, we are hearts unfolding, we're beings becoming. And any piece that we get to dance with is that dance. It's the dance of us with ourselves and the cosmos. So it's funny, this idea that we can get caught up with that perfectionistic thing, because it sort of suggests there's a better way of doing something, and I'm not quite sure how anyone would know that. So that's my thought.
I love it, Claire. Thank you.
I've got if I could jump in here. If the way that I think about it when I'm creating is that my consciousness is the source of the idea and the vision. And as the piece is being created, it is the collective consciousness of the audience who will receive the piece that is informing those deviations from my initial vision. So if it's different than how you originally imagined it, that could be because the subconscious of the people who are yearning to experience your art are informing the art as it's being created.
I love it. Thank you, Philip, and agree with what was said with everybody. Hazel, do you have any thoughts what to take away from what was said?
Yeah, thank you for all those answers. They were really well thought out, and there's a lot to take away from that, especially the aspect of being kind to yourself and just allowing yourself space to create without sort of limiting yourself with this image you have in your mind of what the creation should be, and just allowing yourself to be in flow, and just sort of practicing acceptance, which goes along with the kindness, just acceptance of what you're creating in the moment and what the creation wants to be in the moment, and just letting it be and allowing yourself to be the creator in that moment.
Yeah, thank you, Hazel.
So yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for that. Really good answers there.
And Jenny, if you're ready again, we'll come back to your challenges here. You had a few of them. If I can remember correctly, there seems to be some collaboration with your project and how to bring that out in the NFT world. Is that correct? Do you want to re-explain that for us and help us to better understand what you're working through?
Yeah, so I am creating an MP4 video. The final output, the product, is an MP4 video that's going to be like, sorry, I'm just trying to plug my computer in so it doesn't die. That's going to be like an insider look / promo art piece for this cultural arts center and artist hostel residency. So the people who live there and who are creating art there, all a few of them agreed to be a part of this on my team, and I want to make sure, so it's pretty clear to me, the people who agreed to be like on my team and contribute their music or their image in the video, it's pretty clear to me that I can give them a percentage in our agreement, I think, right? As a part of the 70%. What's less clear to me is if I'm scanning the location and the location is featuring visuals of graffiti artists, how I can credit those artists.
Yeah, I'll take this for a second. I'd love for some other people to chime in. So firstly, like smart contracts aren't legally binding, just to be fully real right off the bat. So
they are not?
They are not. They are not legally binding. When you're dealing with cryptocurrency transfers, that's okay, because if you trust the code of the underlying technology, which if you guys don't get this, we can get into it another time. But you trust you're going to get paid out at a date and time of a contract's expiration. When smart contracts are combined with intellectual property rights, we're going to need to write more in-depth intellectual property rights like a normal non-NFT arrangement with a videographer and a musician, and then tie in to ensure that any of the smart contract pieces that like payment will be released at X date that are programmatic are correct in there. Because if we have written agreements that are different than the programmatic smart contracts, they could null and void each other. Smart contracts don't hold any legal intellectual property bearings or teeth in any way. So we have to write real contracts again, kind of like we're doing for the fiscal sponsorship thing. And we're going to have to just be real and honest and vulnerable in the process and come with the perspective of win-win. I think that really transformed our arrangements as we've been unpacking this it's still incomplete, but I think it's been a very beneficial process because we both have type A personalities and we both have had conflict in the past. We care about each other and we care about the cause beyond it. And we were both, anytime we came into a negotiation ping, we always went back to the win-win. And it's just been, I think, a really good quality win-win negotiation.
So you're suggesting that I have a negotiation and a written contract in addition to the smart contracts with the breakdown of the percentages about the IP that I'm including in this video.
Yep. As annoying as that is, I wish I could say we automated something or transformed the need for that. But what I'm hearing from all blockchain lawyers in the space, and as I'm diving deeper, it's the only way I'll feel comfortable. Like that'll be a premium for our NFTs, is that they'll come with real world contractual agreements with the artist teams, where other NFTs, sometimes people are snapping pictures of things they don't have the ability to, they're creating NFTs out of things they don't have intellectual property rights to. There's some pirate stuff going on, you know, just to be real. And so we're going to be on the up and up, and hopefully because we're on the up and up, we're social impact oriented, we'll have a premium price point attached to our assets. That's the goal.
Okay.
And so, John, as you go through these, is there going to be some documentation of these type of challenges, so that round 2 or round 3, you know, whatever, it becomes a little easier to get through, because these projects are going to have multiple owners, and it's going to be kind of hard to. I'm sure it's going to be unique for each individual project, but there's going to be some different ways that you can do it very similar to the prior people. So something as you write in these. Yeah,
we've got the Discord channel that keeps track of conversations. It hasn't been super populated. We're using Google Docs for everything, so everybody's templates are similar across the board. And, you know, Google Forms, and we're keeping track of feedback, and it's a very iterative process. So this is, like I mentioned, 27 teams have gone through the Hack4Earth method. I think we have 25 to 30 teams coming out of this event alone, and let alone other artists who are just going to plug in and exhibit their art with us. So it's very iterative, and we're going to have a retrospective after the fact to find out where we can do it better. So we're going to have a minimal viable tech marketplace, NFT marketplace, and then we're going to do 2 airdrops before we create anything significant, see how that works, find out from the buyer's perspective how annoying it was to buy stuff with cryptocurrency, which some people are OGs in this community who will buy. That won't be an annoyance to them. But there's some art investors that may join us that are noobs. And so we have to have that process kind of refined. And then the artist incubator process, we're definitely going to have a rolling pipeline so that we can continually produce social impact artwork and have a funnel filling for the platform, because that's what a lot of these platforms, they have a logjam. They don't have enough art. They don't have enough sway. They don't have enough swagger. We're a unique story in that we're the only social impact focused marketplace at this time, early mover advantage. And we think with the Hack4Earth method plugged in, that we can have a good pipeline of really solid artwork and move some mountains in the impact space.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure as Jenny goes through this challenge, that's it becomes a little bit easier for the next person as they work through projects that are with multiple partners. Jenny, was there additional challenges that are tied to this one as well? I felt like there was something else as well.
Yeah, so there were 2, it was like a part A and part B, and part A was what John spoke to already, I think, which is the difference between the distribution of the percentages of the funds coming in and making sure that, even though that might be in a crypto smart contract, that the IP for the team players is in a separate intellectual property contract. I think the second thing, just to delineate for people who are listening, what I heard that wasn't quite delineated is that if you are a videographer like I am, or really doing anything, any type of art piece that might require the consent and IP rights of, you know, any third party, you really need to consider that. So I am in conversation with the owner of the space, and we are signing contracts, but I do need to check with, I mean, it's a little tricky because I don't know if he owns their art, because the art is on his space. So if he owns the graffiti, like if he had, it's like it's street art, right? So I highly doubt contracts were done. So it is a little tricky. And I think that having the 25%, in my case, having the 25% go back into the center is going to be really critical, because it's not like we're selling this and then putting, like it's all going back into the art, into the space anyway. So I think it's going to be okay. But truthfully, yeah, you just always want to be clear from the beginning, because I didn't think about this 6 weeks ago, right? Like now I'm coming up against a roadblock where if I go to the center and I say, hey, I'm going to need you to sign this contract granting me consent to make this video. I mean, we've already talked about it. It's already a verbal consent, but really we need usage rights. So it doesn't have to be, there's a difference between ownership and usage rights. So videographers, I think, just in particular, need to make sure that they have use rights but I think the way NFTs work, I mean, the video itself as an MP4 video standalone, I think is enough to be sold as a separate thing. I think it's going to be okay.
Yeah, as long as you specify it in the contract, firstly. Secondly, this is an issue in the paper law world too, like where you bring products in if you're not allowed to on sets, if you're showcasing artwork, and you're on a television show, does any of that money go back to the art creator? I'd say no, it doesn't in this current world. And being clear and in integrity about the agreements is the only way. And starting with the owner of the business is the person who has legal rights to the building, and that's where you're going to begin.
Do you feel complete with the answers, Jenny?
I do. I think that John was pretty clear about it, and I think just to close out, just because we're excited about NFTs and smart contracts doesn't mean we can forget about traditional IP. I think that that's really the key takeaway from this.
Great. That's awesome. And I potentially see, I'm curious to know what, something like Tom's project where he's building that has some value in that already, you can tell, right? And it's not even be, is that something that you could still do through NFTs as well? And that requires multiple people and ownership of that as well. How would you go about that?
So Joshua, anything could be an NFT, just to let you know, like a live dance. Brock Pierce burnt a canvas painting or he held an event where a canvas painting was burnt and they minted an NFT for that moment in time. The abstract representation of that moment in time was sold as an NFT for a bunch of ETH. So it's like, what is an NFT is anything. That said, with Tom's case, it's a really exciting one because it's like art as infrastructure. It is a beautiful, beautiful visual aesthetic experience coming up by Holland Marina now up in the Delta, and seeing this lighthouse like miles away, just really taking over the space. What would Tom's team do? We have no idea. We'd have to let him talk about that. It's going to be a representation of a golden ticket, maybe with Forbes in there.
Yeah, we're still thinking how you actually structure that as the art itself. Is it the physical infrastructure and the fact it's like like marine infrastructure deteriorates over time, you have to keep regenerating it, keep putting stuff back into it, or is it some kind of experience that people have interacting with that artwork that's the actual thing that's going on the NFT, which could be like a tour or this ticket like Willy Wonka style, or somehow just an arts as theater of like interacting and having these tours, and having it like a timeshare, though you're not actually necessarily owning the asset itself, you're partaking that experience. So still brainstorming on how that would actually work in our case too. Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay, so we got probably time for one more challenge, and then we'll wrap it up by sharing what we've learned from today's session today. All right, so anybody else want to share a challenge?
Like take your lip with your tongue or something like that, or like what kind of challenge? Yeah,
so a challenge that is existing within your project. We shared one earlier about perfectionism, and then we also went into another challenge of working through the actual NFT art collaboration and who gets those pieces. So something to that extent. In your project, what's the challenge that you're working through?
Well, I'm creating like a guardian that has included the circle of the stratosphere, that if we go farther than that heat, we'll not be able to go back to to the earth, you know. Many people have to die and will be different too, and it's part of the piece. And what I wasn't thinking about like NFT, I was thinking, oh, so it's better if I 3D print this piece and deliver it with the STL file, that 2.2 gigabytes, or in a USB, and that it's the NFT as a thing, or it's just MP4, just a high quality MP4, and that's the NFT. And also, which one is it's more valuable about like a thing, you know?
I'll just jump in quick. You know, I mean, this is a great question. So NFT Experiential is one of our partners from early on. They've been minting an NFT every day for 81 days. And the process they do is they have a bundle of digital files, an MP3 file of an original soundtrack, either a JPEG or a PNG file of a visual representation of an art piece, and a text file of an individual mantra specific for that piece. So your question about comparables is why we have the business brief process. And I know you're coming on late, and so I'm not sure if you had an opportunity to touch, move, and inspire a business person in your network. But it's wicked early days. So the information, I'm not sure how available the information is from OpenSea or some of these NFT marketplaces to find out like what file format equals the best return on investment. I love the way you're thinking, and I don't know if that information exists in the ether at all. The way we're kind of playing around with it is we're a social impact collective, so we're giving away 25% to a social impact cause. So we're encouraging all our artists to multiply their typical art prices by 1.25, so that you're not taking any of your profit, your typical wage for your art, and giving that away. Instead, we're creating premium price points. So it doesn't have to just be times 1.25, it could be times a little bit more. So I think we're going to be market makers rather than responders or reactors to market indicators. But that's a hypothesis we have to prove. So thanks for the questions, and I hope I didn't just make more questions for you, but it's like it's kind of like the nature of the beast.
So is it choose an actual not platform, but choose an actual format and kind of stick with it and make sure that you're pricing it accordingly. Okay, awesome. Well, that was a simple one to answer. Did you have anything else to add to that, Joel, or anything that needed to be clarified there?
Well, I think I will look in all these places to buy NFT and everything, and the avatars that they selling, and the another friends who wants to create avatars and everything, because it's nothing that we are like giving. And the thing is, the file, maybe it can be faked for be the only copy. You know, like if I save a file in a 3D program, probably I can save like the format to be read it as exactly the date I save it is created, you know, but I think it can be hackable in a different way. So maybe you have the file, but if I can get it to copy and I can make the same process, I will have like the original anyway, you know, and it's just a copy. And
yeah, Joel, to touch upon that one is the number one criticism of the NFT space. But when you speak to NFT collectors, all they care about is what the bar. It's basically, you know, forgive the simplification of it. It's a barcode proving ownership in a cryptocurrency wallet, and it's a token. And so they just care about the token, and the hash in the blockchain references the specific file of the NFT itself. So if you change it, if you change the file, that doesn't change the hash with which indicates ownership. And the only thing that has value in the $69 million Beeple art example of a JPEG file that's worth 69 million bucks, anyone can see that JPEG file anywhere on the internet, just like anyone on the internet can see a digital representation of the Mona Lisa. But there's only one actual art gallery that's holding the Mona Lisa, and there's only one crypto wallet holding the barcode that hashes the statement of ownership for the Beeple art piece. So the only thing that has value is the actual token on the blockchain in the wallet. The digital file is ultra replicatable, like you mentioned. So that's not what has value. It's strange and abstract and hard to get sometimes, but you're trading an actual a statement of ownership, and that's what has the value.
I'm just throwing this out there as a possibility, or a question. Is anyone submitting, or how does RegeNFT feel about NSFW artwork? Because I have some really, and I mean this very truthfully, professionally done, like really like that I've been saving and I didn't know what I was saving them for. Nude pictures that could make a lot of money for a social impact. And I think this could be it.
So firstly,
we start with 3D box.
Sorry, Joel, what did you say?
We start the action with 3D box.
So I can't speak for the community as a whole. One of the verticals is decarceration, and if you consider nude photos sex work in any way, and you're going to give money away to get sex workers out of prison, I don't have a problem with it. But I do want to make sure I give the community an opportunity in the curation process to chime in.
Well, empowering sex workers would definitely be a cause I would be interested in. I've been very vocal about legalizing sex work.
So we have that channel opportunity. The question is, are we going to have like NSFW like basement gallery that we don't share and mix the brands? That's the question.
I literally just thought about this on this call, and I'm not pushing anything. I just figured, if we've got these crypto values and we really want to make a difference, I have super high quality, professionally done photos that only I have, and no one has ever seen them.
Yeah. I think it's hot, but I don't want to speak for everybody. And edgy, which is what sex sells, but I don't want to be exploitive and extractive. Want to make sure this is as regenerative as possible. But I think taking that conversation to Discord and really and saying, hey, I'm feeling potentially called to upload some of these assets in this new apply now section of our website. Will anyone have any hard nose to being part of the community if this becomes something that's entered?
And so I guess the reason why it came up in the marketing question, because he was talking about digital reproduction, and I was thinking, well, how would we would there be a way to sell that NFT where it's not visible until it's purchased, or does it have to be visible for it to be purchased? And and then the digital, that's what sparked the question. It was actually a marketing thing that was going on in my mind, believe it or not. But
hey, does anybody else want to chime in here? Because this is new territory. Obviously, this is our community. It's not any one of ours. So I don't want to make any decisions for people. Does this trigger anybody? Does anybody a hell yes to this?
Yeah, I mean, I personally don't have an issue with it at all. And I would say that I have similar images as well that I just don't know what to do with, because it has no space on my usual social media channels, because that's for my artwork and it's for sort of professional use. So yeah, it's a valid question, what to do with that kind of work. And I would say something that has been on my mind the last few years, and something that really concerns me is human trafficking. And maybe we can use these images to put money towards efforts to stop that.
I have an idea.
Go ahead, Joel.
Maybe if in the NFT side, we put like plus 18, but we put US dollars. You pay for C and to enter to the auction, and we make that money to make to the human trafficking not be done. You know, like a way to we explain what it is in the video. We put like plus 28 because 18, and they pay, and you can see the pictures, and after you see the pictures you can auction, and we have like no offense in the beginning, just using like the marketing ideas for the people. Oh, I want to see what is after that this $18, you know, something like that.
Are you talking, am I hearing like a layering process? Like you're in the auction and then you like pay a little to open the secret door to see the previews of the secret art?
Yes. And first you put it like really tasty, like you show like, oh, this is a video of a person who has like this and this and this, like not saying, but yes, like, oh, this is Lisa X, oh no, X Simpson, you know, like that kind of not so direct, but like in a way for
the triple XR gallery.
Oh, I have an idea. So if you put the piece up for auction, what you could do, every bid reveals a little more of the image. So the image is broken down into a grid.
Ooh, I love
and
that.
every bid reveals a square on the grid.
Yeah.
Ooh, sizzling.
So that will drive bids higher. That will drive bids, you know, and obviously the person who makes a bid that makes the last square then owns the piece.
Not sure programmatically if we could execute on that the first way, but if you could think of a way of artistically portraying that maybe on a different channel or on a signal channel, or you know what I mean, where you could release to the bidders if we were able to capture their email. I think you're onto something, and I love the teasing nature of it.
I want to mention Claire's comment here as well, and I agree with her as well. As long as we're, I think there's something to say about making sure that it empowers the person, and allows them to have that individual sovereignty. So I agree with what Claire's saying there as well. Yeah. So I just want to make that.
I just want to chime in real quick and say I'm not opposed to you know, the decarceration vertical or the human trafficking, but actually my original thought when I said it was actually around climate climax. So you know, we're actually like we're moving into the new paradigm, and we are like at a place where we are, you know, rape culture is actually like what we're doing to exploit the earth. We till the soil in the same way that men exploit women, you know. So there's actually a major connection between the fertilization process and the sacredness of sacred sex and sacred fertilization of the land.
100% yes.
Wonderful.
So we'll come back to that one, but thanks guys for thanks for the space for me.
Yeah, definitely. So we are just about out of time. Just so we get a chance to go through the pieces that we've learned and are taking away from this session. Let's start off, Jenny, since you were the last one to kind of bring something up. If you could just share something you've taken away from the session and that you're going to be moving forward in your projects. Using to move forward.
Well, you know, I always like listening to Claire talk because I think that she always is bringing things back around to sovereignty and artistic freedom. And so for me, that's like why I love this group, is because I feel like there's a massive connection between sovereignty and social impact. So thank you, Claire. And also thank you, John, for the clarification around the IP. And Hazel, I'm super stoked about your desire to create an alt space environment, because it fits really nicely into what we're working on. We're working on a metaverse environment. So I'm excited to see where that goes.
Yeah, I'd love to collaborate on that. So keep in touch, and yeah, we'll just shoot some ideas back and forth and come up with something.
Are you on Telegram?
I am, yeah.
Okay, let's connect on Telegram. We're having a meeting tomorrow if you're available, and if not, we can maybe send you a recording.
Yeah, I should be. What time is it?
We're having it at 12 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I'm around for that, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll send you a link.
Cool, thank you. My email is also in the chat, so
I grabbed it.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
All right, wonderful. And since we don't have too much more time here, anybody else that wants to share a takeaway that they're going to be using in their projects, and we'll just kind of keep on moving forward. We won't popcorn it on this one. We'll just allow for the space if anybody wants to share.
Sorry that I just am arriving right now. Hello all. I just finished the session here, so I'm not sure what the take was on that. So hopefully it's been recorded, so I could review it afterwards. If John could let me know, that'd be great. And but I'm excited. I submitted my 2 pieces, and yeah, I'm looking forward to finalizing my end and what I need to do. Thank you so much.
Joshua, I just want to, before you close it, I just want to appreciate, I'm just full of love and gratitude for everyone that's here, and just the level of humor and sincerity is really beautiful for me. So thank you.
Thank you, Claire.
And Joshua, thank you for facilitating. Yay!
Yeah, thank you guys. It's been wonderful to be a part of the community and engage with you guys. So would love to continue as well.
Philip and Claire, and was there anybody else that came through, Joshua? I know Ray signed up through us, and it just seems as though you've just been a ripe garden full of nutrients for the RegeNFT team. So thank you.
Yeah. It's been great, and it's been fun to have you, John, share your challenges on our think tank discussion as well, and work through some of them, and you to find people to come into this project as well. So yeah, it's been fun. We will close out the session today, and thank you again. If you guys want to do some more of this, I'm welcome to set up times. I'll put my information in the chat, just my email if you want to reach out to me with any questions or needs, and you can look at our website and the projects that we have running as well.
Hey, I want to know if there's a written resource related to this conversation and the and marketing materials for this project.
A Reddit resource?
Written resource.
A written resource.
Typed.
Yeah, usually it's so yeah. The reason why the win-win agreements have taken a little bit of time is because this space is developing. The written resource will be the process we walk everybody through for creating their own agreements. Each one of you, I know, are thinking about them now. Start sketching out, like everything from, we can do a template, I guess. There's going to be one thing about intellectual property, another thing about splits. So those 2 things, just start sketching out what that looks like on your end. And we're going to create resources as we have a tech partner, because we found out that you can't, your written agreements have to really align with the technical deployment. If not, they potentially will nullify each other. So that said, keep track on the high level of percentages, keep track on the high level of IP, and we'll get it organized before the auction, we promise.
Right out. Thanks, John.
Good to see you, Eric.
Same to you, Jenny. Hey, no, I really appreciate the angle about explicit content. being funded for regenerative resources. That I really appreciate you bringing that to the table. And it's like one of my key takeaways. Like, wait a minute, that's an amazing idea. So I really appreciate you bringing that to the table, Jen.
Thank
All right,
you.
guys. Thank you. Have a wonderful
Thanks,
evening.
everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye,
Really
everyone.
beautiful call.
Good
Thank you.
night. Bye.
Bye.